Chewy chocolate chip cookies. They look delicious, don't they? Watch the full video to find out how you can make them at home. Hello everyone and welcome to the Scuffed Kitchen. Today we are making chewy chocolate chip cookies. Not much to elaborate about this one, so let's get started right away. It's gonna be a quick recipe this time around. Today you will need 120 grams all-purpose flour, 4 grams baking powder, 2 grams baking soda, 40 grams white sugar, 50 grams brown sugar, a pinch of salt, 4 ml vanilla extract, 40 ml vegetable oil, 40 ml milk, and 100 grams of chocolate chips. It's unbelievably easy to make these cookies once you have the measurements in place. I would also recommend measuring by weight, as I usually do, to get a more precise result. For US customary units, check the link for the full recipe in the description. Anyway, start by mixing all dry ingredients: flour, baking powder, baking soda and salt. The sugars are not considered dry for the purposes of baking. Sounds weird, but just go with me. Also, sieve the flour for a smoother dough later. Once you're done, mix all the wet ingredients. Do note that we leave the chocolate chips aside for now, because first add all the dry in the wet and thoroughly mix until a sticky dough forms that is able to hold its shape. And then you can add the chips and incorporate them somewhat evenly. At this point I should also mention that it's completely fine to snack on this dough. There's no raw eggs in here, so there's no risk of catching a nasty bug. Just leave some for the oven later. Anyway, refrigerate the dough for an hour. We need a low temperature for a proper bake later. While that is happening, preheat your oven to 180 degrees C. If your oven has an optional convection mode, switch that off. We only want heat, no circulating air. Quick tip, so the paper doesn't slip, put a tiny amount of butter under it to effectively glue it to the sheet. Once the refrigerating hour is up, pull the dough out of the fridge. Now you'll need to work a little bit quickly. Separate the dough into 6 small balls and spread them evenly on the prepared baking sheet. No need to flatten them, that will happen while baking automatically. Put everything in the oven and bake for about 10 to 12 minutes. Keep an eye on the cookies in case they need a minute longer or less. Every oven is slightly different. And lastly, pull them out and let the cookies cool off on an oven rack. You can eat them once they reach room temperature. And let me just say, those cookies are just great. They are chewy, they are chocolatey. What's not to love? Well, the calorie count, but we don't mention that. Please do give them a try and tell me in the comments down below what your favorite cookies are. See you next time!